Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. I know I'm a college professor, which hopefully is not exactly news to anybody watching my channel. But you know, when people think of college professors, traditionally they think that they know stuff and they can help explain the world and teach people. And I always tell my students that they learn as much, if not more, from me than I ever do from them. Which also makes me realize that I think I should move as I'm talking. Random tangent. My black bar's up just a little. Yeah, look at that. Now you don't see that awkward phone line at the bottom. See? This is the beauty of having to be a radio broadcast. I notice things. Okay, so you can look at my mastery setup, and we're about to test this out in a fight. But you can see that I am running full ouchies. 3 out of 3 glass cannon, 1 out of 3 recoil, 3 liquid courage, and 3 double edge. And so, what that means is that if you don't have a poison immunity or a bleed immunity, you start out the fight with both a poison and a bleed. And we're going to showcase this with Hercules. So let's check how many bleeds and poisons he has to start off. And you can see one of each. That is the traditional ouchies amount. 1 bleed, 1 poison. What's the big deal, right? What's the point of this video? What's the story? Well, that is normal. That is considered normal. But I have somebody, Mr. Matt, who sent me a number of images and video clips and information for today's video. He says, Prof, I'm getting 2 poisons from recoil masteries. Just turn them on and every fight gives me 2 poisons and a bleed. He says, I can send a clip if you want to make a video. This is horrible for the game. The bugs are insane. So, I would indeed like to talk about this. So you can see Rhino has 2 poisons instead of the one that I just showed with Hercules. You might be thinking, well, what about his mastery setup? Well, you can see he doesn't have 3 out of 3 in glass cannon, but he has only 1 out of 3 in recoil and then 3 out of 3 in both. Now maybe there's something I'm missing that gives him another poison, but I don't know what that would be. Again, I could be missing something from Mr. Matt 4273, but this is generally not ever supposed to happen. So here is a Sasquatch example video to start the fight, and you'll see 2 poisons immediately along with the bleed, which, yes, that means you lose significantly more health at the start of the fight. And then let's see, I wish he had kept it to see how much he was losing per tick once the bleed expired. That's part of what I'm curious about. Same thing with iron package. 2 poisons and a bleed. I can't explain this. I'm sure there's a reason. Obviously, he thinks it's a bug that's screwing him over, and if it is, so he's losing 191 health. Wow, yeah. So he's losing like about 140 health per tick. So he sent so I just put on recoil masteries, and every fight starts with 2 poisons and a bleed. I have an iPhone 11, and I attached gameplay screenshots of my masteries. This will cost many resources if unaddressed, and I used most of my units to switch the masteries. And then, want to gather more information. Does this concern mainly involve a champion's ability, mastery skill, buff node? What were you expecting to happen? That's a great question from customer support. What actually happened? This sounds like a date, like you went on a date with Kabam and the questions came up. Which champion were you using? Who else was on your team? Which champion were you battling against? Which game mode? If this battle occurred in a story quest or event quest, which one was it? If the opponent was under the effect of a buff node, what were those effects or the related? And then, if this battle occurred in a story quest or event quest, which one was it? If the opponent was under the effect of a buff node, what were those effects? Anyhow, you can just tell that Kabam is uninterested in the specifics. In order to your questions, this involves Liquid Courage Mastery. I was expecting 1 bleed and 1 poison on non-immune champs. I was getting 2 poisons and 1 bleed on non-immune champs. This affects any non-poison immune champion. Opponents running Recoil Masteries only had 1 bleed and 1 poison on them. This bug happens in the Arena, Realm of Legends, Labyrinth, and the Story Quest. No nodes, as I have been playing mostly Arena. Due to it, no boosts. And there is another shot, and it says, just checking again, still can't believe it complete any quest due to incredible damage from the 2 poisons. Though we'll be unable to provide updates for this investigation of this ticket, you can look to the forums. And another, I think this is the final clip he sent. I cannot explain this. Angela starts again with 2 poisons. This will be a good example to show how much health he's losing. Oh, well, maybe not. Now, people might say, hey, this is great for Ghost because you get another Fury. Yeah, you start with 3 Furies. So, there's that. But I really want to see, and I don't know if he's going to show this or not, I really want to see what happens when the bleed falls off. Okay, so there's poison immunity, right? For Toad with the long tongue. Just an absolutely bizarre situation. Now, she will not start with poison immunity. She'll start with bleed immunity. So there are the 2 poisons. And there, he's losing about 100 health per tick until he switches over to poison mode. And then here is everyone's new favorite featured champion they're hunting, Baron Zemo, cleansing those poisons. It's a beautiful thing. He is ouchies friendly for sure. So Matt, maybe there's someone much smarter than me that has a solution / explanation on why this is happening. But that is not me to check out the 2 poisons. Wish it was. I feel like sometimes people get super desperate and they're like, I'll contact Prof. Hoff. It can't get any worse. Famous last words. And then I unfortunately am not able to help them like they would want. And I feel, a little sad and maybe even guilty. But at the same time, I can only do what I can do. Thank you in advance for helping out Matt4273 with this problem. It's also a reason why I do this, because never in a million years would I have imagined, because I have never heard of this, that this would be a question for me in the community, and yet that's why we do this. Every day is different, and today is exactly that.